Bavani Superminion. Bavani is a confidence and visibility coach, which helps people from network marketing boost their confidence and visibility by doing live video. So Bavani is here today to answer some questions and help us be better on video with confidence. Welcome, Bavani. Welcome, welcome. How are you today?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much, Ramona. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm looking forward to talking to you and sharing with everybody about how they can stand out on this video world of we're in now. Like there's so much AI. We need to still remember we're human. We have to show up for ourselves. So I have a few questions I'd like to share and ask you. And if you have anything that's going on with you, you're more than welcome to share it closer to the end here. And I will add the links to everything that you have to offer. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started with this. So, can
Absolutely.
you share how live video has transformed your clients' businesses, and what advice do you give people who are hesitant to go live to help grow their businesses? And also add a little bit about how it transformed your business.
Absolutely. Excellent question. For sure, with my clients, live video has just really been able to get them to be more visible. You're able to get your message out there to a lot more people a lot faster. So you're marketing to the whole online space world. So it could be one person, or it could be 1,000 people. So you can get your message out to more people a lot faster. And with my clients, the more they did their live challenges, it just built up their confidence. And they've just been able to know how to brand themselves, what to say, what to do. But one of the biggest fears that people have with online video is the tech part of it. They're like, oh my God, I don't know all the tech. And you know what? It's super simple. You just need your phone. You just need to know if it's a landscape or, horizontal. So, just the little tips and tricks, because if you're doing like reels, you're going to have it portrait. And then if you're going to do live video on Facebook, you're going to have it as landscape. So those are the little things that you need to know, but it's anything you can learn. So it doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, the younger generation knows how to do all this, but even if you're super old, because I know there's a lot of people, and we're talking about, women and people over 50, they're getting into the online space. Like people in their retirement, they want to keep themselves busy, and then they are actually getting, in front of the camera and getting their message out, whether it's like cooking things, whatever it is. They're keeping themselves busy, but they're keeping up with the technology. um, so that's usually one of the biggest fears. The second biggest fear um, is what to say. That's one of the
Mhm.
things I find is like, what do you say? So part of my program will address that. So, whether it's like a practice script, but you still want to be as natural as possible, or just kind of key points, and to remember that you don't need to say everything all at once. You can give the information in little bits and pieces. So, yeah, mini sections, or you can, that way, if you're doing a series, it makes it so much easier to expand it over time. So you're not just talking for a whole hour and cover it all. You can do 5, 10 minutes, and you've got 5 or 6 series to do, and just little bits of information. And obviously the key, if you have programs that you're selling, you don't want to give all the information at once, but just do a little
Right,
bit, get them excited about it. And then they're going to
right.
want to come do that discovery call or whatever it is. So what to say is one of the things, and the other one is just the fear, like an introvert. Like that's who I was. So you were asking
Yeah.
about my experience. So I was very much an introvert when I was growing up. So I was, bullied. I almost drowned, and just like my whole
Oh.
life has been circled around people that I think should support me, like the older people, adults. When I was younger,
Mhm.
they never did. So I always felt like, it's just behind the scenes. No one's there for me. No one's protecting me. So I had to
Mm.
find ways to get, over that. And coming from a musical family, I had a sister who's very confident, perfect pitch. She had no fear getting up on stage and singing and doing things. And same thing with my dad. So growing up with very confident people, I had to find ways to kind of get to their level, or
Right.
develop my own personal
Yeah.
development. And that's what the online space is, right? So a lot of us who are just starting in any business, whether it's products or services, which is one of the side businesses I do, um, it's a matter of sorry, to lot myself lost my train of thought here. Where was I going with this? Where was my oh yeah, so
Your
yeah, just
your
overcoming.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So just overcoming, yeah. So overcoming your fear. Sorry, I was trying to get back into it's your personal development growth. So no matter what
Right.
business you're in online, a lot of your learning is going to come from your personal development. And that's what I incorporate into all of my programs that I have. So that's a key important element of it. And what would make me unique is I also incorporate your emotional connection to your situation. So
Hmm.
that's important. There are tools and tips and tricks on how you can overcome your anxiety, overcome
Right.
that fear. So just little exercises you can do, and just if you come into that situation, and it's also a life learning thing too. It's not just your online
It's a
business.
spiritual journey, actually. It
Yeah,
really is. You go deep within yourself when you start a business and you start working with people. You see yourself and others, and you just go on this big journey, right? And
absolutely.
so that probably leads people to have what's called imposter syndrome, where I think I had experienced, well, I know I have experienced probably more than once, where
Hmm.
you get to a point in your business, like now I don't have a problem with turning the camera on and talking to people,
Hmm.
but I find it difficult for me to share points that I know I'm strong at about my business because I don't feel like I am. But I know I am because I do it. But I feel uncomfortable with that. And so I wanna hide, right?
Yes.
And so someone had mentioned that term. I had never heard that term before, imposter syndrome. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's me. That's me. So,
Exactly.
how do you
Exactly.
help clients overcome that? And can you maybe explain to some people who aren't familiar with it so that they can understand that if you are describing them, that you have a way of helping them?
Oh yes, absolutely. No, I experienced it too, and yeah. So I mean, mainly the definition behind imposter syndrome is, as you just said, is like you're confident about something, but what makes us the expert? It's
Hmm.
in the online space. You're not doing something where you do a bunch of certifications. So, like in the accounting that I do, you have some, you'll either have a degree or some kind of certificate, even if it's a few
Right.
months course. So you have something, I guess, tangible to associate your knowledge with. But whereas here we're talking about personal growth and things like that. And so yeah, so imposter syndrome is when we feel that we're not qualified to come out there and say what we know, but we
Hmm.
truly are. And what I want everyone to remember is our story is unique, and that's the way I view it now. So
Yeah.
it's taken me quite some time. Our story is unique, so we're not imposters.
Hmm.
And if you think about it, everything we cover, all these topics, everybody else does. So people are going to be like, okay, why do you want to work with Coach Babs? Like, why do you want to work with me? But it's my story that's going to make the difference. My story is going to resonate with certain people. You're just going to
Yes.
get that vibe and that energy and that synergy. And that's why you're
Right.
going to work with me as opposed to someone else. It's not always about the money. Sometimes I think people will be willing to pay more, slightly more, if they're working with someone that they can resonate with, and just feel comfortable with,
Yeah.
as
It's
opposed to
that no
someone.
like and trust factor that comes in that space, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And one of the things I'm learning, because it's another thing, is it's an ongoing learning process when we're in this space, because it's still fairly new, in terms of the industry, overall. But yeah, so one of the things I've learned is they kind of say just be like one chapter ahead or two steps ahead of
Yes.
the problem that you're trying to help someone with, because again, we're
Yes.
doing all broad topics. So what would happen is on a discovery call, I would talk to someone, find out what their kind of pain points are, where are they lacking at this point, and then just figure out, okay, these are steps 1 and 2. So as we're doing them, then even if I don't have all 10 steps, I'm not an imposter. I'm still sharing my
No.
story, but I just know that as part of my role, my preparation, I just have to be a few steps ahead. And again, you're going to make it personal, right? You're going to
Hmm.
personalize it, so you're going to change it. So I may have an online program, it's very generic, but when I do those discovery calls, that's when you get that personal touch, that one-on-one element of, each person learns differently. So there might be something that I would recommend, let's say for the homework. Let's say I give them a homework assignment and I'm chatting with someone, so we have like a discussion, then I might assign them something specific that's suited for their personality. So
Hmm.
that's the way I feel that, what, we shouldn't think we're imposters. I know imposter syndrome, you get the fake it till you make it. I don't totally agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
it has its meaning, but I understand. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so like,
It
just to be
has
honest,
its
too,
purpose.
personally, people used to always tell that to me, but I'm like, okay, you know what? I mean, some people can understand. I mean, it has its value, but for me, I mean, people used to tell me that all the time, but now it's like, you know what? I don't really want to be that. It's more like I want to be true to myself and feel that I'm not an imposter, and I just need to work with who I'm with and just be a couple of steps ahead.
Hmm.
So I think the fake it till you make it. I think it's just to me where I have difficulty with is I don't want to be lying to people out there. I want to be
Yeah.
truthful with what I'm doing, right? I don't want to say, oh, yes, you know, I make $1 million and I have this fancy house and all that stuff. Like, I want to
Yeah.
be real because the people we're helping are real. They're not millionaires. We want to get them there,
Yeah.
but they're starting, we all start from the same place. So on the same playing
Right.
field.
That's
So,
true. That's
uh,
true. I think it also sort of took a turn because I don't think it originally started that way, or maybe it did, and it transformed into something more true. The fake it till you make it sort of represents the vision of yourself in the future, like be that person. And the
yes.
word fake has taken has helped that phrase or that experience that you want to build for yourself take a turn to the worse,
Yeah,
where then
exactly.
you got people advertising things that they really aren't, when that's not really what it was meant to be used for.
Oh, amazing. I love
Right.
the way you said that. That is so
Yeah.
true. And I think it's more that envisioning yourself. So they say if you are the CEO of your business or if you're that millionaire, you act like you are. You're
You
not
yeah, you
faking it.
act as if.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want the universe to hear that. So you stand tall, you walk proud, but you're not faking it. I mean, you're
Right.
you're just trying to internalize what you want to be with that, like you
Yes.
said, like yeah. So exactly, you're on the same wavelength as me. That's where
Right.
I don't like that phrase anymore, and that's
Yeah.
what I was taught in the very beginning, like 6, 7 years ago,
Mhm.
and I
Take
kind
it
of
till you
got,
make it. Take it till
yeah,
you make
that was
it.
all
And
they
it's
kept
like,
saying. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So absolutely. So yeah, no, yeah, very valid point.
Yeah,
So
I want to be there and I can see myself there, but I'm not going to lie and tell people I'm a multimillionaire now. I can tell them that I envision myself now as that. But
yes.
when it really did take a horrible turn, which I think increased the number of people who were experiencing imposter syndrome. Because like I said, I didn't know that phrase for a while, and all of a sudden it's become a thing that I
Yeah,
was hearing. It's like, what is this? Well, it's the repercussion, it's the results of the fake it till you make it trend that was happening. I'm going to call it a
absolutely.
trend.
And you know what? Along those lines, what you're saying, if you think about it, a lot of the MLM companies now are shutting down. And part of it is that reason, I think, now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
it's because
Yeah,
they're
because
over
they were
exaggerating the
yes,
success of
yes,
it. So now they're like, no, you
yes,
can't promise this, you can't do this, you can't show your
yes.
Lamborghini car or whatever. But now I think, yeah, so I think it's all kind of tied into what's happening currently
Mhm.
with it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that leads to my final question is about
Mhm.
in a sense about public speaking. And the reason
Mhm.
I'm saying it from coming from a public speaking perspective is if you are an MLM company or part of one, or you are in network marketing industry, um, what you're doing in front of people at presentations is speaking publicly, right?
Yes.
And so how do you, or how would you help someone grow their team with that in mind? Because I didn't bridge those two together when I was in the industry years ago. The people, my upline, just threw me in front of a group of people, and I used the number nine, what is that, 9 million instead of 900 million in revenue that the company was projecting out, and I
Okay.
didn't even know I had made the mistake. And so I was like, well, that's not my fault because I'm new in this, and you should have had something written. I don't see it in. I was giving all these reasons as to why but
Right.
what happened was I didn't have the confidence. I was just thrown in front of a group of people, and I was trying to remember what was said to me. And
Right.
so I didn't like the way that felt. And I don't think I think I may try it one more time, but I didn't do that anymore. So I think, the industry itself has changed because that was before the internet. That was before we were online like the way we are now.
Right.
And so now you have people that are turning their cameras on, their phones on, and all of the things that we talked about here until now still shows up for them. Even imposter syndrome, there's a fear of rejection, there's all these things that happen for them. So if they are looking at this from a public speaking perspective and they're having to speak to a group of people, how do you help them with that, the confidence in the way to impact their business so they can grow their team? Can you give
Excellent.
some tips to them? Because I would love to see that industry thrive online and be authentic, where they know they are not the company, they're branding themselves, and then they're public speakers.
Yes, no, absolutely. No, very valid point. And even in the services business that I do, we do what we call PBZs, so personal business Zoom presentations. And the way I
Mm-hmm.
think the industry is doing it now, it's not just the company I work with, but with others. They're getting the expert to do it. So if you're new to the company, they ease you in
Ah,
gently by saying,
okay,
okay, I'm working with an expert who has, been very successful.
okay.
Can we book a meeting? So that's kind of, and other people have
I
followed
love
this kind
that.
of roadmap model. So that's one way. I mean, it's not directly helping me get over it, but it's a way to ease you into your business so you're not overwhelmed. So I think that overwhelm aspect can come down a little bit. So that's one thing
Uh-huh.
they do. But just to share my personal experience and how I'm going to be incorporating that with my program, is for me, um, I took the opportunity to mirror and learn what they said. So, and the presentations are always repeated, done by different people. So it's the same information, but it's how is it being portrayed. And as you said,
Okay.
what I noticed is when I'm doing the presentations now, I want to put my own personality in. I don't want to
Right.
just copy. So it's like certain things you're allowed to copy in this in our business, we're allowed to copy the other person, but just to help you become that leader, basically, right? So you want to be
Right.
confident to be able to stand there. So for me in this industry, like you said, so even though we do the Zooms, we do live presentations and we do testimonials. And so
Mm.
one of the ways we did that was we would write out what to say. We only have 30 seconds to say it. And a basic
Mm.
guideline. You say your name, your profession, how many years you've been in the business, and your reason why you're in the business, which is the biggest story. And then that the system helped us get to where we are. So everyone says the
Okay.
same thing, but your unique story is your reason why. But I noticed
Ah,
as we said it, we'd be like almost robots saying the same thing. But then you're right. I'd like to, once you build up your own confidence, you're able to incorporate that in there. So what I would do in my program, I would really focus on that internal personal growth because I think that's
mm-hmm.
truly where it has to come from. Because some people
Right.
have said, oh, just go there and do it even in this. And then I'm like, you know what? Some people will, some people won't. They're like, oh, well, the SVP threw me into it. I'm like, that's great. For some people, they're going to thrive on that. It's going to motivate them to do it. But for me, it's like, no, you know what? Not everyone wants to do that. And you don't. And so I don't want people to lose out on the opportunity in their businesses Sorry, excuse the dog upstairs. I'm not sure if you can
Oh,
hear her. She's running around looking at other dogs.
she's doing her speaking part.
Yeah, she's trying to get involved. As one of the ladies
Yeah.
said, she's the new CEO of my company. She's trying to get in there. So yeah, so to me, it's really personal growth, because for me, again, it's sharing my personal story of growing up in school. Like, public speaking is not just your business. It's in school.
Right.
It's just class
Hmm.
presentations. You're in front of the
Hmm.
class.
Right. Right.
So everything.
Yes.
So I really feel that if you can build your own confidence, build, just your own worth, your self-worth, that yes, I'm capable of doing it. And there's little things you can do. You can practice in front of a mirror, say it over and over
Oh, that's a
again.
big one.
Write
Yeah.
it out, say it in front of the mirror, record yourself on your camera, look at your face, look at your
Hmm.
lighting, look at all of those things, but even your body language, look at that.
Yeah.
Are you slouched? If you're slouched, you're not confident, but you want to,
Like,
so as you're saying,
like
each
this.
time you say it,
Yeah.
you're going to be, that
Yeah.
much more confident. So
Right.
yeah, because every time you turn on that button, you see that red light, it may freeze you at a moment when you're first time doing your live videos and things like that. But if you record yourself, and then what another good thing is with the online space with Facebook groups, if you have a safe environment, then within your small group of people, you can keep practicing and get
Oh,
feedback
yes.
from people. So those are
Hmm.
some of the little things that I would do for the public speaking. And then just even before you do your public speaking, because I used to be very nervous, even with I'm a piano player and piano teacher, piano recitals. It's taken me years, like only recently, I've completely gone out of it by doing a different technique. But I'm completely,
Wow.
that memory that haunted me all these years is completely out of my system. But it took time. But I think one of the most important things, I think, in building confidence is you have to want to do it. Like, I wanted to get
Oh,
over my
true.
stage fright. I wanted so when an opportunity came up, I took it when there was a 1 week boot camp for a cappella singing. It was a 1 week boot camp. I'm like, you know what? I'm investing the money. And even though I was still shy, I was that introvert. I would put my hand up
You
slowly, but I
raised
put
your
it up
hand.
for,
Yes.
I raised it like very slowly. But as the week went on, I was like, yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
it. The people are like, you're signing up for everything. I'm like, I paid for this for a reason. I want to get over it. I'm
Right.
not here to waste my money.
You had
And
made a
so,
conscious decision to
yes,
grow.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. So I
Yes.
think that's important. I think that's one of the, areas we need to look at ourselves. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Acknowledge it. It's okay to have fear. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Hmm.
when you're ready to overcome that fear, where are the opportunities? Don't close the door on it. If it's coming to you,
Oh,
like this one came
absolutely.
to
I
me, it
say
was
take the fear with you. Fear is never going to go away. It's going to
exactly.
transform, shape shift, do all kinds of things. So what I did once, I said, you know what? I'm afraid right now. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but let's all
Hmm.
go together. Like, I'm gonna
Yes.
bring the fear. I'm gonna bring the overwhelm. We're gonna all get in this taxi and go have this meeting.
Yeah.
Now, what happened is they didn't show up when I got there. They didn't get out the taxi with me.
Oops. Okay.
The fear and the overwhelm did not go into the building with me. They weren't
Right.
there. So, but I did invite them, and so they sort of fade away because after you start moving forward, you're not fearful. It's like you can't laugh and cry and breathe underwater and all those things. You can't do some things, you just can't do at the same time.
Yes.
And so when someone said, just take it with you. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. But I had to literally say out loud, hey, you guys come with me. Fear, overwhelm, whatever
Right.
else, you guys come on with me. Get in the taxi. And I told the
Exactly.
taxi driver a story. And I don't know if he understood all my English, but I said it anyway. But when I
Right.
went up those steps and sat down and had that meeting, I realized, hey, they didn't get out the car.
Yes.
The fear and all that stuff. I don't even know if they got in. But
Yes.
my point is, I had to make up this whole thing to help me through that. So
Yes.
I'm assuming sometimes people have to do that, and you
Yes.
probably did too, overcoming recitals and things like that. You had to tell yourself stories and encourage yourself internally until finally, you just didn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what happened. So after this boot camp, we had a performance. But even while we were doing the boot camp, I realized so many people were so nervous equally. Like we
Oh,
always think we're
wow.
the only one with the fear, but everybody's got fear to some
Everybody
level.
has fear.
And fear is
Yes,
there to protect you, right? So we need fear. Fear is there for protection
you
too.
do need it.
So it's not
Absolutely.
something you can't, so it's just you don't want to let fear take over you, right? That's the key.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
you want to keep it in track. So for me, when I saw that, I'm like, these people look so confident. Like at that time, I was like still very introvert shy.
Right.
I'm like, but then I'm looking at them like going, oh my God, yet, but they go on there and they're so confident, but behind it, they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm equally nervous. So it made me
Mhm.
feel good that I'm not alone. And it's just
Yeah.
being in that positive environment. I think that community is so important. So I think when we're in this online space, finding like-minded people, and if you're
Mhm.
striving to be that millionaire, like talk to people who are millionaires, like
Yes.
get in that association of people. You don't want what then that will help you get you to your level. But yeah, no, for me that experience, like we did a dress rehearsal, they couldn't hear me, they're like, Bavani, eat the mic, because they couldn't hear me. They're like, your mouth's so different, we sing, you're trying to sing
Yeah.
something but we can't
Eat
hear
the
you.
mic.
So they're like, eat the mic. But you know what, I didn't take it personally, like I didn't take it offensively.
Yeah.
Like my younger self would have, right? Like that, I
Yeah.
would have
You probably would
reacted
have
to
just
it.
wanted to die. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My younger self, but this time I'm like, you know what? No, we're all here to help each other out. And now when I have a mic there, oh my God, I love it. It's such a great, powerful feeling that you've got that mic and
Wow.
you're in control. And I did my jazz scat solo, which is one of my bucket list items that I wanted to do. I thought if my sister can do it, I can do it. Like,
Oh,
why am I?
Meg,
So
yay.
thank you.
Yes.
So yeah, and definitely, public
Oh.
speaking, like I said, is anywhere. So for me, the way I would build my team is the personal development is really just build confidence in themselves before
Mhm.
you throw in all the business elements of it. Um, and just continue to give leadership opportunities, because that's one of the benefits I find with the businesses I do online is just
Right.
all the like whether go, because now I'm not now I'm not afraid to speak to like 100 people.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can tell my story. I've practiced my testimonial enough that I can say it in my sleep. And then now I'm not self-conscious when I get up there. Like before, I'd still
Right.
have the butterflies in the stomach and things like that. I
Yeah.
mean, life, confidence is not gonna go, like I'm gonna be honest, is not gonna go completely. But you
Yeah,
can
I've gotten
definitely
better. I
continue.
don't giggle as long anymore before turning, like with recording, like with just even today, I said the wrong number. I hope I said it right this time. But before, I used to just have these giggle fits, you know.
Mhm.
And every time I would start laughing, and then I would have to just breathe and relax, and then take off. So yeah, you would probably, and I'm sure inside of your program that you would work with people closely where whatever their triggers are, whatever their fears could be, whatever they don't believe also about
Yes,
themselves, and
exactly. Limiting
how
beliefs,
to
absolutely.
to go back into their environment. Yeah, how to go back in their environment with the tools. You're going to have tools that you provide for them through your program, so that, because not everybody's home environment is a safe place to grow. Like
No,
we've grown
absolutely.
up
Yes.
teasing each other, brother, sister, whatever. And
Yes.
when someone is doing something so serious about what a lot of us are doing, we really don't need those jokes all the time, because we're
Yes.
trying to overcome something. And
Exactly.
so, your program, I'm sure, has tools, right? That when they're home, how and what the things they could do to help themselves work through all of the external
Yes.
stimulation, what I call it.
Yeah.
Negative external
Exactly. No,
stimulation, right?
right. Absolutely. Yes. No, absolutely. That's exactly it. So yeah, for sure. That's what I have to offer. And in terms of building your team and everything, which is a part of one of my programs, once you build that confidence, you will know how to, share your opportunity. And in our services business, it's not about selling, it's sharing the opportunity to save money.
Mhm.
So
Right.
but you still need the confidence to do that. So
Yeah.
once you have that, then once people know, it's a matter of, hey, do you want to save money? Then come to my store and take a look at it. If not,
Mhm.
so, but you need to build that up, because if you start thinking that every time you get a no, if it eats away at you, you don't want that. So you need to be confident. You know that business has its ups and downs, the roller coaster. Just got to ride with
Yeah.
it. So yeah, no,
Right. It's
definitely.
not a personal rejection. Yeah. It's not
Exactly.
sometimes it's just not the right time for people. And sometimes a person may have had a rough day and they just don't want to hear what you
Yeah.
have to, they don't want to hear what anybody has to say. So
Say.
yeah, so in your program, you help them work through that part of their business so that they can not take it personally and then they can keep working on themselves and thriving. Right.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Awesome. 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 So, Bravani, can you please share with everyone how they can reach you and contact you and what you may be offering for them right now that can help them get started and then decide to work with you further?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So what I'm working on is a mini course. It's just about to be completed fairly soon. So that is going to be a free offer that I'm doing, and so I can definitely once it's almost ready. So once that's put together, I'll have the link can be shared. Best way to reach me is probably through Facebook and Messenger. Or the email would be coachbabs@gmail.com if anyone wants to do a direct email messaging there. Yeah, so that's probably the best places for now to reach out to me. And yeah, so that's the first program that's there. Yeah, so that's basically the main offer that I have right now currently. The other ones are just in the process.
Okay.
But one of the programs that I will be offering in the next couple of months is how to run your series. So people who are already doing a lot of Facebook Lives, is what are the topics you want to
Okay.
run for like a 12-week program or something. So 12 weeks out, how do you prepare
Oh my
yourself?
gosh, I'm so sorry.
So no worries. No worries. No worries. We're pretty good till now, not a problem. So yeah, so that's another branch of my programming that's going to be there. But basically,
Okay.
what I do, yeah. So most of my offers are like mini offers. So like mini workshops, when mini programs.
Mhm.
Just because there's so many aspects of areas, and rather than overwhelm people on it, I'm designing them so that they are smaller chunks. So
Oh, great.
yeah, the
Little
first week,
bites, little bites. Yes.
yeah, a
Awesome.
little bite. So rather than do a huge one, I mean, that'll come later on,
Hmm.
or that'll be like we call the high ticket offer. So that'll be done later.
Hmm.
But right now, I think the maximum benefit, for people that I want to help, will be to do the mini ones. So there'll be a lot of mini
Hmm.
courses that I'm designing first, and
Okay.
then build it out into like a 12-week or a 1-year program, something like that.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's
So and
awesome.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, so in all my programs, I mean, they are going to have elements of homework. I always like to be involved in it. I don't want to just be a recording. So even though I say,
Right.
like I'm talking about Facebook Live, recording live. So even though these things will be pre-recorded and you can purchase it and use it and do it, or if it's the free one, I also want to make sure that I'm the type of person that I'm real. So you're going to get
Hmm.
homework. I'm going to be talking to you. You can interact with me, and in certain cases it'll be like extra one-on-one sessions, like free sessions. You can like I'll be
Right.
available a couple of weeks after the program's done or something like that. So I just want people to know that's the type of person I want to be. I don't want to just be like, oh, I'm all about making $1 million and teach you one thing and just sit there and make the $1 million. I want to be there, like hold your hand and guide you. You're
Yeah.
still going to do it yourself, but I want to be the guide there to help you. So
Right.
yeah, so
Well,
that's how my
if
program
you
will
help
be.
them build their teams, you're building your team of people and you're helping them build theirs. So you're
Yes.
teaching them to do what you felt may have been missing from you at one point. And you don't
Absolutely.
want them to experience that. So you're teaching, it's actually shifting because I think at one point the network marketing industry was against people being online because they had to come up with the legalities to protect themselves at first. And now they realize, well, people are personal branding themselves and using their products and services. So they are actual vendors.
Yes.
It's nothing you can do about that, but you can have guidelines and rules and things that people can follow so that it keeps them in compliance. And that's pretty much all people in general need. And so in your program, what you teaching them about confidence and how to be visible, it's like you are filling in such a huge gap because they can get the content and material from their company. And they can be horrible at selling and still build a team. They could be horrible at team building and sell. But if they can bring together all of those pluses, they can really grow a successful company for themselves personally, on a personal level. And that's what you fill in that gap for them. So it's amazing to see finally somebody that's working there. They have their business. You're working that angle, I'll say, for those who really, really need that. It's missing for so many of them, and they're struggling online. And so it's amazing to see finally someone is filling in that gap for people. So not only do I wish you all a success, I'm excited to witness this. I'm witnessing
awesome.
This as it happens, as you grow your business. Yes, I'm excited. I'm cheering for you. And so I will provide the link for your group and let people private message you for your email, or I can put the email in the comments if you want that as well to be public.
That's fine. And also,
it will be with this video.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, email's okay. Yeah, we can do the link to the pro, and as well as I have a link just for a quick survey, kind of find out what your personality online type is. So we can include that in there. So yeah, absolutely, we can get started with that, and then take it from there.
And that's a great start because a lot of people don't know what their personality really is, like how it matches it, or sort of offsets other people, and they're wondering why they don't get along with certain people in their space. So actually that would be a great start for them, is to take that personality test, and then you guys can communicate afterwards. And in the meantime, as you have your mini courses coming up, they can sign up for that and grow their network marketing companies. Well, their network marketing business, not the company, because they don't own the company.
Right.
But exactly. they can grow their brand and then expand their online presence with a network marketing or MLM company. There we go. That's better worded. I don't want to be in trouble.
Exactly, absolutely. You've covered yourself. You recovered as well.
Was that a good recovery?
Yes, awesome. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Bavani. Thank you. I have had a very good time speaking with you and learning. I've learned a lot this evening, and I'm sure others will learn a lot as well. And so that is Bavani. She is a confidence and visibility coach. You need her. You need her. So if you are feeling overwhelmed and fearful of being online and growing your business, Bavani is the person to see. So thanks again, Bavani, for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your time and knowledge.
Thank you so much for your time as well, Ramona. It's my pleasure.
Okay, that is all for Tech Savvy Women Over 50 magazine interview. See you next month. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so I'm going to end. If you want to subscribe to the magazine, click on the link after this video or somewhere around this video. Subscribe and make sure that you read through the articles of every issue, because it's going to be jam-packed with so much to learn about each coach and business tips. There's Tech Talk on Tuesday, Fun Funnel Fridays that you have access to if you become a member. So I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. See you next month.